วัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We shall start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chan.
Ajaan, I'm very happy since I realized body is moving, no me moving. Body is eating, no me eating. I also realized everything is selfless. That is only the constant joy of awareness, of peace. There is no rise and cease. I constantly practice mindfulness and wisdom of four foundation mindfulness in the daily life. Everything just accept it. What will be, will be. Ajaan, may I know what should I take note? Thank you.
Take note of your reaction to everything.
Okay.
Make sure you don't react. You just merely know.
Okay.
But if you have to interact, you do it with loving kindness, metta, karuna, mudita, or ubeka. But if you see here anything, just merely see, merely hear. Don't be happy or be sad by what you see or hear. Because this is the way things are. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan, for all your guidance. Sadhu.
You're welcome. Johanna from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have one question about the Four Noble Truths. Ajaan, what the best that we can do so that the Four Noble Truths can be strongly embedded in our mind?
The Four Noble Truths is happening in your mind all the time. You just cannot see it, that's all. So you need to develop strong mindfulness in order to see the Four Noble Truths. But usually what appears in your mind, in most people's mind, are the first two Noble Truths, that of dukkha and the cause of dukkha. You rarely see the cessation of dukkha, the math, or the magga, the path leading to the cessation, because you don't have it. So what you need to do is to develop the path. You have to develop mindfulness and wisdom. Then you have to develop mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. When you get this, then you'll see, then you'll be watching, you'll be constantly watching your mind to see when dukkha arises. And you will know it usually comes from your cravings. Your cravings start the dukkha. And when you have mindfulness and wisdom, then you can teach the mind to stop the craving by seeing the object of your cravings are anicca, anatta, and will only bring you dukkha eventually. So you have to first develop the tools to see the dukkha and the cause of the dukkha, which is mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. In that order, you need to have samadhi. You need to have mindfulness before you can get to samadhi. Once you get to samadhi, then you can develop wisdom with the support of samadhi to stop your cravings, which is causing you the dukkha.
I am asking because I remember in the Buddha's life, he could see the dukkha in birth, aging, sickness, and death, which is cannot be seen by most people. So just in case we don't make it in this lifetime, Thanajan, and we have to come back again in the next life. So I'm just thinking how should we do in order for the Four Noble Truths to be strongly embedded in our mind.
Like I said, you have to develop mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. Because by merely memorizing it, you can forget. You have to practice mindfulness, and you'll see the real noble truth inside your mind, not the noble truth in the text, in the scripture that you study. If you see the Four Noble Truths inside your mind, then you will never forget.
Okay, so we have to see the real thing in our mind, right, Thanajan?
Yes, that's right. What you read in the scripture is just like a menu, not the food that you're gonna eat, right? When you go to a restaurant, they give you a menu and you say, oh, okay, I want a hamburger or fried chicken. But you don't get it from the book. You have to get it from the cook.
So I have to practice mindfulness and
Yes.
samadhi and wisdom.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Thanajan.
Next, Cook Sing from Singapore.
Yeah, everything for Ajaan. No questions at the moment.
Okay. Next is Declan from Ireland, Presley in Thailand, in Pattaya still.
Yes, Ajaan. I'm getting ready to go down to do that 10-day retreat with Goanka in Kanchanaburi.
Good.
Yeah, getting a little bit distracted. My wife just came down from the north after haven't seen her for 6 months. She practices Buddha also, but it's we have different. She has different ideas about Buddhism.
Yeah, different way of practicing. That's okay.
Yeah, she's with a group on the internet, a lay group, and they're teaching her how to be a Sotapanna. So that's very strange. But I try to practice non-judgmental. And what you said earlier on to the lady, try to interact love and kindness and metta and no judgment. And
that's right.
That's it.
No emotion involved with your reaction.
Lots of motion, not the reaction, but that's something to watch. It's good.
Yeah. React with equanimity.
Yes, Ajahn. Thanks,
so
Ajahn.
You're traveling to Kanchanaburi tomorrow?
Yeah. No, not tomorrow, but it's getting ready. I'll be there. think it's on the 6th, the 5th or the 6th. We go down for a 10-day silent retreat.
Yeah.
And then I have 1 week in Nanachat. I did up there.
Okay.
Then maybe sometime with Ajahn Martin. And then I want to possibly stay in your what before I go back to Ireland, if it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Ajahn.
I hope you find something from your pursuit.
Thanks, Ajahn. Thanks, Ajahn.
Okay. Next is Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Kwan Liman from Malaysia.
Ajahn, because of Chinese New Year, some family members came back from overseas. So I still go to the temple some days to practice. And the temple manager is very kind to give me a quiet place all by myself to practice. So when I do sitting, I feel calm. After a while, I feel calm and I don't feel the breath and I don't feel the body. And I just cannot hear any sound or pain, just quiet and calm. So it's not only 1 or 2 times, but when I meditate, it's the same experience when I meditate at home or in the temple, or even last time in Khao Chi-on or Wat Yan. Ajahn, is this Samadhi yet?
Don't worry about the name. Just if it makes you happy, peaceful, and calm, that's good enough.
So what should I do next, Ajahn?
Do more.
Okay. Yeah.
Were you happy with that state of mind?
Yes.
Okay. And do more. Keep up your other activities and in exchange for doing more meditation.
Yes. Because now I'm so grateful. The temple manager actually gave me the place and I can lock myself inside there and practice on my own.
Yes, do as much as possible.
Yeah.
All day and all night, except when you go to sleep. That's the maximum limit of practice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next is Ubeka Alfredo from Sao Paulo. Alfredo.
Hi, Bhante.
Greetings.
I'm very tranquility, Bhante.
Very tranquil, okay. Very peaceful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And very happy.
No thinking.
No thinking. Okay.
No thinking.
Good.
Good.
So no thinking, nothing to say.
No. Tranquility, Bhante, tranquility.
Okay, good. Good to see you then. Keep listening
Good.
then, okay?
Good.
Amanda, where are you from, Amanda? Seem to be new here, first time.
Yes, this is my first time to join. I'm from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, okay.
Yeah. I would like to ask, how should I practice meditation?
Well, meditation practice is to tranquilize your mind, like what the gentleman just said, tranquil, make your mind calm, peaceful. And in order for your mind to become peaceful, you have to stop your thinking. And in order for you to stop thinking, you need to focus your mind on something else, an object, such as a mantra, Bhutto, 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 Bhutto. Or if you're sitting, this is when you meditate. When you sit, you can use either the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto, or you can just watch your breath at the tip of your nose. Just keep watching, focus on watching, concentrating on watching. and don't allow your mind to go think about other things. This is simple. This is mindfulness meditation. And it's easy to say, but it's hard to do because your mind will not want to stay with your breath or stay with your mantra. So in order to be able to overcome this, you have to do mindfulness before you meditate. You have to practice mindfulness all day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, by either reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto, or keep watching what your body is doing at every moment. In this way, you will not be able to go think about the past or the future, about this and that. But if you need to think, you can stop your mantra and do what you need to think, but only the essential thing that you need to think about. Otherwise, don't let your mind think aimlessly, daydreaming, or chatting with yourself. You want to stop, because if you don't stop, you cannot meditate successfully.
Thank you. Sometimes when I try to aware breathing in and breathing out, I feel my leg and my head very painful. I cannot relax.
Okay, it means your mind is not ready for watching the breath in. So use the mantra Bhutto 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 instead. And if you still feel the same effect, then you might have to do some chanting. You know, some verses that you can chant. Are you Buddhist or not?
Yeah.
Do you know some chant that you can chant?
Yes.
Yeah. Chant mentally, not verbally. Just in your mind when you meditate. Just chant Itipiso, for example, Itipiso Bhagava Arahant Samma Sambuddho. Something like this first. And keep chanting until your mind becomes calmer. Then you will be able to watch your breath, recite the mantra Bhutto Bhutto. Otherwise, your mind will react and cause some headache or some pain, some here and there. These are obstruction created by the mind. It doesn't like to be still. It likes to be active.
Sometimes when I do the chanting, I feel if my head very cannot relax. And after I do the meditation or chanting, I feel I'm very tired and
it's normal. Don't worry about it. It's normal because the mind is struggling with you try to take control of your mind and your mind resists. So this is constantly tug of war. Your mind wants to think and you want it to stop. So you're constantly fighting against each other. So don't worry about it. It will pass.
So I need to do is the
do chanting first, and chant for a long time, maybe half an hour or 1 hour if you feel that you cannot yet. And before you meditate, before you chant, like I say, you should practice mindfulness during the day, all day long. Then it will reduce the mind resistance to your control. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Next, Christine Coe from Penang.
Good evening. And Ajahn, I have no question. Thank you so much.
Okay, Belinda from Singapore.
Hey, Ajahn, next week I will be, if condition permits, I'll be attending a retreat, 7 days retreat with Ajaan Sumedo. If everything goes smoothly, there will be 7 days retreat. That will be next month, February. But before going to retreat, maybe Ajahn can advise something.
Where is the retreat? Where is the retreat?
I'll be in Singapore.
Singapore.
Lompo Sumedo will be coming to Singapore.
Practice mindfulness now. Prepare yourself for the retreat. And keep the 8 precepts if you can, because that's what you're going to have to do when you go, right?
Yes.
So you practice before you go. So it will find it easier for you to be in the retreat. If you haven't prepared yourself, and when you go, you might find it very uncomfortable because you have to adjust yourself to the new setting. So try to do it before you go. Treat yourself as if you're pre-retreat. Make your house the retreat first. So when you go, then there's not much transformation. Eat once a day, or if you can, or don't eat after midday, something. And try to practice as much mindfulness and meditation as possible. Stop all your sensual activities, like watching YouTube or listening to music or whatever. Then you'll find your retreat will be much more easy and much more fruitful, because you have already started running before even the stop clock starts. You already start running already. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Very helpful.
Good advice.
Thank you. Very, very good advice. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, we'll go to Rahul. Rahul, where are you from? I can't remember if you ever attended our class before.
No, Ajahn, this is my first time. I'm calling in from New York City.
New York City, okay. What can I help you?
I had a question. I practice meditation in the mornings, and after my meditation, my mindfulness is great. Right? I'm very mindful, I'm aware until I go to work. And when I start working, my mindfulness just goes out the window. And I'm busy with work, and at the end of the workday, I remember, oh no, I should be mindful now. So how do you maintain mindfulness when you're engaged in busy or intellectually challenging activities?
Difficult, very difficult, almost impossible. So you just have to concentrate on your work and not let your mind go think about other things. Just concentrate on what you do. But it's still not as good as if you have nothing to do, right? When you have nothing to do, it's easier to stop your thoughts, to stop your thinking. But when you work, you have to use your thoughts with your work. So one thing you can do is try to take a brief break, maybe 10 or 15-minute breaks, and maybe sit and meditate for 15 minutes or something like that. And take a bathroom break, and go sit and meditate in the bathroom. This will be like a speed bump, slow down your thoughts. I found that the best way is to stop working. If you want to go the way of meditation, you have to eventually have to stop working. If you want to advance, if you want to have more from your meditation practice, then you will have to give one up. You cannot have them both. They are opposing each other.
Got it.
Or you can do on your day off. You can practice more during your day off. make your house a retreat if you can, and be alone if you can, and then concentrate on your mindfulness and meditation practice. But then again, you still have to go to work, and the only way to stop working is you have to stop spending money on the non-essential thing. Just only spend on food and shelter and clothing and medicine. Then you might not need to work as much. This is one way to reduce your workload and to allow you more time to do meditation, mindfulness. Live simple. Yeah. Live like a monk, even though you're not a monk yet.
Got it, Ajahn. I'll start with the speed bumps for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're practicing with whom, or by yourself? Or?
I practice mostly by myself. I joined some online groups and I talk to monks or people, but yeah, I mostly practice at home by myself.
And you do the Theravada practice?
Yes, sir. Brahma Viharas.
Okay. Any particular teacher that you have in mind that you follow?
I practice using the TWIM, Tranquil Wisdom Insight meditation tradition, originally by Bhante Vimalaramsi in Missouri. And now there's another guy named Delson Armstrong who teaches it.
And do you have group meetings?
Yeah.
How often do you meet?
They meet every Sunday. I join every now and then.
Okay. And you find it fruitful for you?
The meditation practice, so far I'm finding it very fruitful, yes.
Okay. Good. I hope you can do more and advance further on your path to peace and happiness.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, we'll go to Geng Yen So from Penang also. From Penang.
Ajahn, good evening. Yeah, no question from Ajahn.
Okay. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm just listening in, no questions.
Okay. Sarah from Spokane, Washington.
Good morning or good evening there.
Yeah.
No questions.
We're on the opposite part of the world.
Yeah. No questions this morning. Thank you.
Okay. I'll go to Diana. Diana from Wales.
Greetings, Tanajan. My grandson is in hospital, and I wondered what the Buddha's teaching was on how to deal with situations where we worry about things like that.
Well, the best medicine, which is the most bitter medicine, is to accept the truth that life is impermanent, subjected to aging, sickness, and death. And no one can go beyond them. So when it happens, you can hope for the best, hope that a person might recover from the sickness. But if he or she recovers this time, there will be the next time waiting around the corner anyway. So just be prepared to face the consequences of birth, which is aging, sickness, and then eventually death. But you can also use the wisdom to comfort that the thing that died isn't you. You're not the one who died. It is the body, and the body is just your servant, or like an automobile you used to drive you around. The mind needs the body to get you around the sensual world. Yeah. And one day it has to stop. It cannot last forever. Just like any automobile, eventually the automobile will be completely broken down, and you can no longer use it. but the user, you go look for a new body. That's all. So you can look at that as a body transplant process, transplanting to a new body, replacing the old body with a new body. But it's not good either, because the new body will still be like the old body. It will eventually get old, get sick, and die again. So the best way is to stop this transplanting process altogether by the practice of meditation and wisdom.
It feels much more understandable when we are old, but when it's little ones, it's hard sometimes, isn't it, to see them suffering?
Whether they suffer or not depends on the state of mind. See? The mind of each individual is different. If it has been trained in the past, it won't suffer as much as if someone who hasn't been trained before. So we don't know whether the person, how much suffering that person is experiencing. If you have mindfulness practice and wisdom practice in the past, you might not feel, you might not suffer as much as someone who doesn't have one.
Yeah, funnily enough, he's such a calm baby, and he was the one that was born 9 weeks early, and he's so calm. So I'm sure he'll get through this as well.
Yeah. But what's important is how you feel. You shouldn't feel bad about it either, because feeling bad about things don't change things, right? Don't make things better. It make it worse for you, because you suffer unnecessarily.
And we need to be calm so we can be helpful.
Yes, be more rational than emotional. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next, Samanera Ariyananda. Where are you from, Samanera?
First, I pay my respects to you, Ajaan. I was born and brought up in Bangalore, Ajaan. So right now in the northeast part of India, Ajaan. It's called Tripura. So yeah, so there in Mahashuddha Aranya Monastery, I have ordained, Ajaan. I just wanted to give you this good news as well.
How long have you been ordained?
So I ordained on December 7th last year.
I see. Okay. You intend to ordain for a long time?
Yes, Ajaan.
Because in Thailand, people sometimes ordain just briefly, more as a ritual than as a practice. So I just asked, but I think for other country, I think ordination might be more serious than in Thailand. What can I do for you?
Ajaan, first I require your blessings, Ajaan, so that I can take higher ordination, because I'm thinking of taking higher ordination in Myanmar. So, and then I don't know if I can come to Thailand, but yeah. So this is what I was thinking, to go to Lady Saida Monastery there, Lady Mu Meditation Center, and take higher ordination.
Well, normally when you ordain, when you become a monk, you are required to stay with a teacher for 5 years before you're allowed to go wandering alone.
Yes.
Because you have to learn the basic of being a monk first. Or else you'll be just a lay person with a monk's clothing on. You will know how to behave properly, as monks do. So normally, this is part of the, I think, condition laid down by the Buddha for every monk to stay with a teacher to learn the basics of the teacher for the first 5 years. So anything you like to ask tonight?
Yes, Ajahn, I have a few quick questions. First is that, Ajahn, we understand that this body has this three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta. But even the mind is the same, isn't it, Ajahn? It has the same three characteristics of it is also anicca, it is also dukkha, and it is also anatta in the chitta as well.
The mind has two meanings. The mind as the knowing element, this is not considered to be anicca, dukkha, anatta. But the states of mind, the conditions happening in the knowing element, such as emotion, thoughts, feelings, these are considered to be anicca, dukkha, anatta. But the mind, the one who knows, is always the one who knows. It never change. But the conditions in the mind keep changing. Sometimes you have a happy mind, sometimes you have a sad mind. Sometimes you have a restless mind, agitated mind. These are all conditions that change with the mind. But the mind itself doesn't change with the condition. The mind remains knowing. This is the intrinsic quality of the mind, is to the ability to know. Like we're talking right now, it's the mind who knows what we're talking about. See? The talking and the conditions rising and ceasing in the mind. Okay. So when we talk about the mind being changing, being anicca, dukkha, we are talking about the conditions in the mind. Like the mind is the room, and in the room the temperature can change from cold to hot, keep changing. But the room doesn't change, the room remains the same. So we want to teach the mind to leave everything alone, even the conditioning of the mind. Don't try to change or manage or control them, because this can cause dukkha when you cannot do it. But if you learn to live with it, then there is nothing you need to do. Then there will be no stress. The purpose of practicing is to stop stress in the mind, see? Getting rid of the stress in the mind. And the way to do it is to learn to accept things as they are. Don't try to change them. But our delusion wants to keep changing things. When it's hot, we want it cold. When it's cold, we want it hot. Always want something that is not. Okay. And in order for you to leave everything alone, you need to practice meditation to have equanimity, ubeka, jhana. Once you have ubeka, then you can leave everything alone. Let go, no attachment, no desire to control or manage things. Then you will have no stress, no dukkha. Okay.
Yes.
Any more questions?
Yes, Ajahn. Ajahn, so if someone reaches fourth jhana, do they have this capability of choosing their rebirth? Say, for example,
Stopping rebirth, not by jhana. Jhana cannot stop rebirth, because jhana is not permanent. Jhana is temporary. You enter into jhana, then you come out of jhana. When you come out of jhana, your craving will be pushing you to go through a new rebirth again. So you have to have wisdom in order for you to stop rebirth. Because with wisdom, you can stop your cravings. And when there are no cravings, then there will be no rebirth.
But do they have the capability to choose their rebirth, Ajahn? Like, for example, if because they usually say people who attain jhana usually go to Brahma realm. But
yes, they will lose it one day. Eventually, they will come back and reborn as human again. When the strength of the jhana diminishes, then the mind will then drop down to the level of human again.
But do they have the capability to choose their rebirth? Like, say, for example, can they become human again?
Yes, that's what they have to. That's what happened eventually after a certain period of time, when the mindfulness that make the mind have jhana become weakened, then the jhana will then disappear, and when there's no jhana, then the mind then become human again, return down to human level, and take a human birth again.
But what about the immediate birth, Ajahn? Can they immediately choose to become a human rather than becoming a Brahma if they attain fourth jhana? Do they have that capability?
No, it's automatic. Once you have jhana, you become Brahma, which is better than human. In terms of happiness, Brahma has the most happiness. Human have 50% happiness, 50% of dukkha, 50% of happiness. But Brahma have almost 100% happiness, but temporary happiness, depending on the strength of the mindfulness. Okay.
Just one more question, Ajahn.
Okay.
So they said Nibbana, they describe like Vedana Sanya Nirodha, which means feeling and perception is absent. So I want to know, Ajahn, if perception is absent, how do someone know that they are in Nibbana?
No, that's not Nibbana. That's another type of jhana, which it's just in which the mind becomes completely still without any function working. No vedana, no sankhara stop working completely. And they call this nirodha. Nirodha, cessation of activities, not cessation of defilement. Not like nirodha in the Four Noble Truths. The nirodha in the Four Noble Truths is a cessation of cravings, of defilement. And that's nibbana, when you have complete cessation of defilement. Not cessation of the nama khandha, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana. See, in nibbana, the mind still works. The mind still have vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana working. But it doesn't create any suffering, doesn't create any dukkha. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Practice mindfulness, that's the start.
Yes.
And then you get to jhana, and then from jhana, then you can, when you come out of jhana, then you can use the three characteristics to stop your cravings. All right?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. Next, Sri Ratanawati, I think, if I pronounce your name correctly. Where are you from? Sunyata. Can you hear me? You have to unmute your microphone.
Yes.
Okay. You can speak.
Yes, I'm from Indonesia.
Okay. Where from? Which part of Indonesia?
I live in Jakarta.
Okay.
Actually, I want to ask you how to get rid of my anger. I have so much like anger because I was hoping, that people from the monastery will have more compassion towards animals, you know, but unfortunately, in my country, they still think that animals are animals, because actually I wanted to do function, you know. Function is liberate the I want to pay for my birds because I really love my pets, and I want my pets to reincarnate into humans, not become birds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't allow me to do that. So I asked them question, why can't I do for my birds? Because I pay for their share, right? Let's say I'm paying for their share to do the liberation of their fishes, but they don't allow because they are considered as animals. So I asked them, if we are born into animals, so of course I want someone to liberate me into become humans, right?
No one can liberate you. It has to come from the law of karma. When the time expires, when the time is right, then they will be liberated by the law of karma. No one can interfere with the law of karma.
So I can't help my birds?
No, you just have to wait until the bad karma that caused you to become animal expire. Once there are no bad karma, then you can become human again.
Oh, because I pity them, because I try to do function on my own. I pray for, I liberate my own, right? Because I have a teacher that teach me how to liberate function, but I want monks to pray because I don't have the power, because I'm a lay person, right? So my power is limited. So when they're doing the function is with a lot of monks, bante, so the power is higher than me, you know what I mean? So that's why
everyone has power to liberate themselves, but not liberate other people. Even the Buddha could not liberate us. The Buddha can only liberate himself. Everybody has to liberate themselves. No one can liberate other people. So you have to only liberate yourself. Okay.
So how can I help my birds? I cannot.
You can make them happy in this life, you know, by protect them, feed them, or whatever you want to. Yes, having loving kindness, metta toward them. But as far as the future rebirth, there's nothing you can do. Right now, they are like prisoner in a prison, and they have to do their time in prison until when the time is up. Then they will return and born as human again.
Every night I pray for them, and then
it's useless. It's useless. You cannot pray for them. In Buddhism, we cannot pray. We have to do good or bad karma to get the result.
I bring them to tree refuge. I bring them to get the blessing from the Lama, because I want to help them.
Yeah, but it's useless. It's useless. You cannot help them.
So I'm enraged because of the lady saying that I'm not allowed to do function for my birds. So I get mad. So when I see this is life and question, so I just say, okay, I try to listen. Maybe I can calm myself down from
The cause of your anger is your desire. You want something, and when you cannot get it, you get angry. So you should stop your want. Don't want anything from anybody, then you won't get angry.
Yes, that's why I try to listen to other people. Maybe it can calm my anger. It can calm my enrage. I'm really so angry that I keep on thinking in my mind, like, you know.
Yeah. So don't expect anything from other people, then you will not get angry. If you expecting something from people, when you cannot get what you expect, then you get angry.
Because I want to help my birds. I pity
Okay.
them.
Okay, then you get angry then. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Sri and Czech. Are you angry? Sri and Czech from Vancouver. You want the chicken to hatch or not?
I want the chicken to hatch. I don't get that one. I don't get the joke.
It's no joke.
Oh, it's not a
It's
joke.
just that if you want something impossible, when you don't get it, you can get angry. That's all.
Oh.
Or upset, like,
Yeah.
or disappointed.
So don't want anything from anybody, then you will not get angry. It's when you want something and you cannot get it, then you get angry. Okay, anything?
I heard a new one on the Friday Q&A. I heard a new analogy. Buddhism is like a hospital. You get like bad news, but at the same time, it's for a place for treatment.
That's right. See, we are all sick. We are mentally sick. We don't know that. See. Stress is the result of our sickness. A measurement of our sickness is our stress. And we can get rid of stress because it's caused by a mental virus called craving or defilement. So you need to use the medicine of mindfulness and wisdom to eliminate the virus from the mind, from the mind. That's why we call wisdom and mindfulness the Dhamma medicine. The Dhamma medicine. It's actually not an analogy, it's real, it's true. Buddhism is a hospital where we come and fix our mental illness. If you finish, if you successful, you will no longer have any stress. You will be permanently healed from your mental sickness forever.
No, it's actually not an analogy. I think the part is the bad news because the lady Samanji was asking you that like people think that Buddhism is a pessimistic religion.
Yeah, because the bad news is because it's the medicine. The medicine is bitter, and we don't like the bitter medicine. Wisdom is to see that everything is anicca. We don't like anicca. We don't like impermanent. We don't like that everything is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. But if we can take this bitter medicine, then we will overcome our fear of aging, sickness, and death. So we have to take this bitter medicine. The Buddha said, take it every day, contemplate every day. Having been born, I'm subjected to aging, sickness, and death. Don't forget, this is the medicine that can stop your fear of aging, sickness, and death eventually. With the help of your meditation practice, then your mind will eventually accept it. Aging, sickness, and death as like it accepts the rain and the wind and the snow.
So it's actually not a bad news. It might sound like a bad news, but
it's bitter medicine. It's bad news because we don't like bitter medicine. We like honey. We like but honey can be dangerous. It cause you cancer. I mean, cause you diabetes. You take too much sweet. But we like to take sweet, right? Because but we eventually end up with diabetes. But if we take bitter stuff, then they don't cause any diabetes. Yeah. Chinese, we have Chinese drink, right? Medicinal drink that is bitter, but it's good for the health. Yeah.
But then, do you know, like, just so happen the bitter melon is known to be good for diabetes. It's just the people extract the bitter melon to help with diabetes. So bitter medicine is good. It's actually, yeah, it's actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard you talk about the function of the mind before, and just now you talk about the condition of the mind. What's the difference, Ajahn?
Well, the function are the four: Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. These are thoughts. Yeah. And when they act, they produce emotion, stress, restlessness, agitation, peace. These are conditions as the consequence of these four functions.
Oh. So
when you get bad feeling, you also become depressed. Depression is condition of the mind, created by bad feeling, bad sensation, or whatever, bad thoughts. Sometimes you think bad, you have bad thoughts and you feel depressed.
So the Buddha and the noble disciple only create good condition, or they create no more condition?
They create, I would say, neutral condition, neither good or bad condition. They only create, and they only create it when they have to. Like when they give Dhammatalk, they have to use this function of thought to create the Dhamma to present to others. And Dhamma is usually what we call rational things. So it doesn't cause any emotion, any stress, or any happiness, or anything, any joy. It creates joy. I'm sorry, maybe I should say neutral, but the Arahant will only think of happy thoughts, put it that way, and no sad thoughts, no bad thoughts. Like anger, wanting to get your bird to become human or something like that by praying.
But in like once they're in Nibbana, probably is like the neutral that you're saying, because there's no more like
when they don't use the function, then everything just become quiet still. Like turning off the machine, the air conditioner or the fan.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
But they still have the function, and they can do it whenever they can use them whenever they want to. When they want to give Dhammatalk, they have to use the sankhara, the mental formation, to form words, to form ideas, to present through the speech. Before the Buddha give Dhammatalk, he has to use his thought first. He has to generate the idea in his mind with his thought, and then once he think about what he wants to say, then he can say what he wants to say.
So just now you say the room, like the temperature is the condition. The room, the room, the
you can
mind.
make it hot or make it cold. Depends on how you think. If you think with defilement, then it becomes hot. Think with craving, like that lady, she wants something and she could not get it, so her mind become real hot, real angry. But if she think that everything is anatta, then it become cool again. Then she doesn't want to. Then she won't have any desire to change anything, to make anything. That she cannot do, Then her mind stop creating craving, stop craving anger. Then the mind become cool and peaceful and happy. So it's this four function that either create, good or bad state in your mind.
So, Ajaan, like the mind is always there, meaning that like for an enlightened being, they can deactivate the mind. But I mean the function, everything is still there. But if they want to, they can activate their mind. But it's based on Dhamma.
You mean activate the function?
Yeah.
The
they
thought.
activate. Yeah.
The Buddha still think after his enlightenment, he still think, but he think differently than before he was enlightened. He didn't think about the way he used to think with defilement. He think now with reason, with rationality, like whether he should be teaching Dhamma or not, for instance. Not out of like or dislike, but based on the fact, on the ground, whether it's worthwhile teaching the Dhamma to people or not. Not whether he likes to teach or not like to teach, or want to teach or not want to teach.
The Buddha's hobby.
Okay, so no like or dislike involved in the thinking of a noble disciple, a noble one. They only use the rationality, the cause and effect, a logic. Whether doing this will create this or not. If it does, yes. If it doesn't, okay, no. Or not out of like or dislike, or out of fear.
And Ajaan, I have another question. Like we have like bodily pain and also like mental pain. But sometimes like when there's a bodily pain, like I cannot differentiate with the mental pain. Like
because they usually come to with physical pain, the mind also start to have creating mental pain, because the mind doesn't like physical pain. So it creates another pain called dukkha.
Yeah. So if I cannot differentiate them, like they come in. Normally I assume that it's a bodily pain.
Well, you have to study in order to be able to differentiate what is body pain and what is mental pain. For instance, right now your body has no physical pain, right?
Yes.
But if you get bad news, if you lost your money in the stock market today, you have mental pain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a two different things. Or maybe your wife says something bad to you and you get angry, then you get mental pain. But you have no physical pain. your body doesn't get sick, your body is well, you don't feel any physical pain, but you can feel the mental pain. But when your body becomes sick, sometimes your mind also gets sick with the body, because the mind doesn't want the body to get sick. And this wanting not the body to get sick can cause pain in the mind, cause dukkha in the mind.
Yeah, that's the part that, like, I always
So
feel.
it's usually, for normal people, usually when the body gets sick, the mind also gets sick with the body. You feel unhappy when you get sick, right? You don't feel happy. Even if it's your birthday, you don't feel like celebrating.
Yeah.
And that's the mind. See? The mind is not happy because the body is sick. Because the mind wants the body to be well, not to get sick. But with a noble person, he understands the nature of the body, that it can get sick. And once it gets sick, that's the way not to get your mind to be sick with the body is to accept the sickness of the body. And the mind can remain remain normal without being sick with the body. Can enjoy the birthday celebration.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
See, the sickness of the pain of the mind are created by your desire, your craving, your greed, your anger, your defilement. But as you advance in your practice, you eliminate all this defilement, then there will be no mental pain left in the mind. Only the physical pain. Like the Buddha still experienced physical pain. When he got thirsty, he asked, Venerable Ananda, please go fetch me some water. My body is thirsty. Not me, I'm not thirsty, but the body is thirsty.
Oh.
Not the mind.
Yeah.
So the body doesn't change with enlightenment. The body of an enlightened person or non-enlightened person is the same. It still get old, get sick, and die. But the mind of an enlightened person doesn't get old, get sick, and die with the body anymore. It has the wisdom to differentiate between the mind and the body. They are two different things. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I heard you said before, Ajahn, like the Sotapanna, like if they sit on a fire, they can still smile. Even they sit like, like you said that because they already separate the body and the mind. Even like sitting on a fire can still smile.
Try to see.
but like stop. This is the real deal. But they're like
the smile is in the mind, not in the body. The body only show sign of pain when you burn, but the mind can still smile at the pain of the body.
Oh.
Okay.
I've seen the monk light themselves on the fire, like it's to protest, but that's not really, that's like that's not smile in the heart, right?
That's not their business in the first place. Monks are not supposed to be involved in politics. And burning the body doesn't change anything anyway, right? Politics still go on like it used to be normally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Dad.
To Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Just to continue on to the question, just to clarify. So the mind of a enlightened being, Arahant or a Buddha, right? So the 10 factors still exist, but
no factors at all.
So it doesn't appear in the mind anymore.
Yeah, no factors. But the functions still remain. Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana still remain. They are functions. They are not defilement themselves. All the body is not defilement.
So a living Arahant, a living Buddha, right? When normal daily life, when he's not teaching or anything, his mind will be in an equanimous mode every time. No thoughts will come out, is it?
Well, they can think, they can think about what they see, but they think in not in terms of defilement. You think maybe just admiring or something like that, or analyzing how this thing comes about.
Okay.
They can still think, but they don't think with defilement. They don't think with greed, hate, or delusion.
Right. So an enlightenment, an enlightened being, when he thinks and when there's greed, hate, and delusion, is actually a reaction, right? I mean, it's like, it's like you touch something and ouch, it's like a reaction, right? That you have not trained your mind.
That's part of it. That's the illusion too.
Okay. Right.
But I mean, physically, an enlightened person can also react the same way as an enlightened person. Okay. For instance, if he walks and if Chotis be slipping and it's gonna fall, he might reach out for something to stop the fall. This is instinctive reaction.
So like, I mean, I asked you before, I think first time I met you, it's like, so for example, when there's a loud noise like thunder or even a bright light, a natural reaction covering the eyes or things like that,
it's possible to protect the body, but there's no mental reaction as being hurtful or angry or anything like that. Just accept things as they are.
Okay. Understand. Thank you, Tanjai.
Okay, the Buddha still eat, he still look after his body. He still think what to eat, what to do, what time it is now, what am I supposed to do? He still use the Dhammakanda.
Oh, and also one more question. There's this more like for the monks practice, right? I know when you go on arms round and people offer food and things like that, right? You're supposed to accept it. Is there any like prerequisite, like if you're allergic to peanuts or you're allergic to milk or anything, like, can you reject it and say no? I can't take that.
You don't have to eat, but you shouldn't reject the offering because you want to what we call to facilitate their merit making. You don't want to stop their merit making. Even though the things that they give you, you might not use it, you still accept it. And then you can give it to somebody else.
Okay, understand.
Because sometimes they want to, it's because of you that's caused them to do these offerings. Without you, they might not have the reason to do the offering. So if you should refuse their offering, then you are not helping them to make merit.
Oh, so it's like when the Buddha accepted his last meal, when he knew that the food was poisoned. I mean spoiled, right?
I'm not sure, but anyway, I don't think so. I think the reason behind this last meal is because that the person who give the last meal might thought they caused the Buddha to die because of offering the food. But the Buddha said he didn't die because of the food, just his time to die. So the person who gave the food should not feel bad for offering the last meal to the Buddha. But if you see, the Buddha and all the teachers teach people to make merit. So when they make merit in goodwill and they want to give you something, even though you don't use it, you don't say, I don't want it, You say, okay, you want facility, you accept it, and then you can then decide later what to do with it. Give it to someone else who needs it or whatever. Unless it's something illegal, then you cannot accept. Like if somebody go steal something and give it to you and tell you they have stolen this stuff, and you cannot receive stolen goods, for instance, and you say, I cannot do this.
Unless those are the meats that are not permissible, right?
Yes, it's the meat. Like if you kill a chicken and say, I do this particularly for me, right? Because you want to make merit by killing this chicken and fry the chicken and give it to me, and you tell me about it. If I know that you do this intentionally, then I would say I cannot accept it because I cannot facilitate this type of merit making because it's not merit making. It's bad karma. Killing is bad karma, not good karma. Even though giving is good karma, but the bad karma outweighs the good karma. But if you just happen to go to the market and buy chicken and then you fry it and give it to me, I have to accept it, But I might not like to eat fried chicken, so I give it to another monk or somebody else.
Okay. I understand.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
And you must not tell the lay people what you eat either. Like some monk doesn't understand this, and they eat vegetarian food. So sometimes they have a little sign on the bintabat, say, I only accept vegetarian meal. This cannot be. This is not practice for monks to do. Monks should not be the one to decide what to get. It's the giver who decide what to give. Because then you will be limiting up people's option of giving. See? If you demand only vegetarian food, and if the giver is not vegetarian, then they might find it difficult to find vegetarian food to give it to you. So then they might not have the chance to make the merit. And besides, the Buddha said you should not be vegetarian. And if you can be vegetarian from what you get, if you get food and then you can choose the food that you're given. Only pick out just the vegetable and the meat, you just get it out, Then you can eat vegetarian food that way. But you cannot tell people I'm a vegetarian, because then this will cause more hassle for people to give to things, and they might not find it difficult, and they might not want to give any more food to you because you become a nuisance to them.
Are there any foods which are not? Obviously alcohol and things like that, which are not allowable for monks. I know there are some places which they are poor, right? They cook frogs, right?
Frogs, tukke, lizard.
Yeah, lizard, right?
I think that there are no. I think in the scripture there were 10 wild animal meat that we cannot consume, like tiger, lions, or snake, elephant, things like that. But if they are domesticated animal like chicken or pork or anything like that, or pigs, they are allowed. But we should have nothing directly to do with the killing. We must not tell someone to kill for us or do it ourselves. The monks cannot also accept raw food, raw meat or eggs. They have to be cooked well done. They cannot be like medium rare or rare steak and things like this.
Okay. Yeah.
They have to be well done.
So the eggs must be
hard boiled or hard fried.
Right. Okay. Understand.
And food that contains maybe just some seasoning of alcohol is not allowed either.
Okay.
Because it's alcohol, and that breaks the fifth precept if you take the food with a few drops of wine, seasoning.
Okay. And for example, after the 12 o'clock, no food, right? I mean, I know in Thailand, they allow to eat, I think, dark chocolate or something like that.
They consider medicine.
Medicine, right?
Medicine.
If there is salt in the chocolate, is it considered as seasoning or?
No, salt is allowable. It's part of the medicine, so you can use salt as medicine.
Okay.
Salt, sugar is allowed. The Buddha allowed five things to take after midday: sugar, honey, cheese. I'm not sure it's whether cheese or not, but it's been translated as cheese now. And nowadays, and butter and oil. These are the stuff that you can take after midday. If you feel maybe your stomach has some problem, you can take this to alleviate your stomach pain, maybe. But other stuff, they are what you call, you can see them following the normal practice of lay people. So if lay people use tea as medicine, tea can also be medicine. You can drink tea, coffee, cocoa. These are considered to be medicinal. You can take them, but not with milk. Though milk is considered to be food. Milk or cream, artificial cream either. Okay. No, the best thing is to take water and don't worry about everything else. Once you finish your meal, then just drink water. You don't really need anything anymore, as far as eating is concerned. Then you won't have any problem of how to differentiate which you can eat, which you cannot eat.
Because sometimes during meditation retreat, they cook a ginger tea or something like that.
Yeah, ginger is considered to be medicine.
Okay.
Ginger, even chili are considered to be medicine.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think the best way is to follow the masses. Whatever they do, we just follow them. Learn from them. That's why you need to go and live in a monastery with a teacher for 5 years to learn all these little things that that people can do, that monk can do, and cannot do.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, from Pennsylvania, Somchai.
กับท่านพระอาจารย์ good evening. Yeah, just kind of happy to listen what you describe about pretty much everything covered. Only I can really share about all the friends in the room is I got some daughter who finished an psychology master, and the youngest one finished the nurse. In the middle one is no finished the school, is a boy. So I try to change, like you told me. I try to change, but I end up with have to change myself. I cannot change them. So he do the way how he want to do. And without you listen, without I learn from you and I listen from you, I probably out my mind by now. So it's
you go crazy. You went crazy by now.
I pretty much right now, but I still remember what Ajaan Suchart said. You cannot change someone.
Yes, you cannot change an apple to become banana, right?
So, well, yes.
People are like fruits. Some are bananas, some are apples, some are, some are grapes. You cannot change them. You just have to learn to accept them for what they are.
Yes, yes, sir. I have one apple. I mean, one tree apple, but a bad apple is only one bad in there. I try to slide them off. It is. But
chop the whole tree down.
Okay. Well, I saw you. They call bin tapat, but beg for food. I don't think beg for food a gift. I saw one young man give you a hug one day.
Yes, yes.
That's amazing.
I knew him from when he was a very young boy. Every day his father will bring him out and give food. Yeah. And now I sponsor his education also. So he considered me to be like his father.
Okay. Then I said amazing. I just
I gave him scholarship. Yeah. So.
Yes, sir. And other than that, I listen. I just a little share about that, but little two apple doing fine. Then one apple is bad, some inside. Anyway, so I just listen to you and control myself about mine, and I listen. Bunch of doctor, I consider doctor talk about, but I end up with Buddha says some way, some like that, the same way what Ajaan Suchart talk about. So that's what only one I have comment right now. So
okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I just want to ask a question on meditation. Ajaan, you always say that when you meditate, once you move, you will start all over again for the meditation, right? Once you move, say you move your feet or you move your hand, so you start from point one again. What happens if they are, once you, what happens when you cough or you sneeze? Things that you cannot control.
Same way. You restart.
You restart as well.
Right, restarting your computer. All the work that you have, if you haven't saved them, you lost them all. And you have to start all over again.
I see. Yeah, because sometimes you sneeze, right? I mean,
sometimes the power outage, accidentally beyond your control. There's nothing you can do. Unless you have a UPS.
you can control yourself not to sneeze or cough. You try your best not to.
You have to install UPS in your body.
But the problem is when you try to fight yourself from coughing, defilement will arise. It's like you're fighting rather than concentrating on your breath. Then you try to stop.
But this don't happen all the time. It's just occasional. It's very
rare. Occasionally when you're not feeling well. Sometimes.
Yeah, don't pay too much attention to it. Really, just
Okay.
But I think more things that are not what we call beyond your control is something that you want to move, you feel itchy or you feel uncomfortable and you want to move. This is something that you have to avoid. But if something beyond your control, then you just have to accept it. It only happens once in a while, not all the time. Coughing. Okay.
Thanks.
Anybody else there already spoken? Okay. I think we'll go to Facebook for now, I think, before Sulan come in. She hasn't come in yet. Or maybe she is not here, that she is. Wait, we'll go to Facebook first, Sulan, you wait.
There is one question from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์ The questions from Meta Vandana. ท่านอาจารย์ I'm transitioning from sitting on the bed to sitting on the floor while meditating. It's not very pleasant for my knee, and I can't sit for more than half an hour. I need to change my position often. I'm fighting this kalisa or defilements of pain in my knee. Do you suggest something? Thank you.
Well, it depends on whether this pain on your knee is something permanent, long-lasting, or just happened during the time of meditation. If it only happens during your meditation, then you should just ignore it and just keep focusing on your meditation object. If you cannot stay focused with your meditation object, you might have to use a mantra or do some chanting to pull your mind away from the painful feeling. But if it's something permanent, something that remains before or after you practice, then this is something that you cannot, you should not ignore. You should get it treated first. If you have knee problem, then you might have to have it treated. You cannot just ignore it when you meditate, because it might make your problem worse. But if the knee problem only happens when you meditate, and when you finish meditating, it disappears after a few minutes, then you should not worry about it. You should try to learn to live with the pain. This is part of the practice. In order for you to move forward, you have to cross over this obstacle. You just have to leave the pain alone and stay more focused. And this will cause your mind to become calmer eventually. And when your mind become calmer, then you can live with the pain without having to move the body to relieve the pain.
That's all,ท่านอาจารย์
Okay, Sulan, we're ready for you now. Oh, you have your mother, your grandmother with you, huh?
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. This is my mom, my mother. She's a bit shy. Bit shy. This is my father.
Your grandmother.
My parents. Yeah.
Oh, your father.
Yeah.
I see.
They're both very old.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't know to say English. Yeah. She say she don't know English. Yeah. But I was explaining to them like some of your conversation that you have with the rest of just now. Yeah, in Chinese. Yeah.
Okay, good. They learn something.
Yeah.
It's good of you to bring them, even though they don't understand, and you help to translate, because then they can learn something this way, and might be able to use to apply to themselves when they get sick or when they become old.
Oh, yes.
You have anything to say? Any question?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that yesterday I was sharing with them your Kinda part. I think last week's
Last Sunday.
Yeah, the 1 hour video I was like watching together with my parents yesterday and sharing with them. Then they recognize you when I down into the Zoom just now. So so very happy.
Okay. Nothing to say, nothing to ask tonight.
Yeah, nothing to say.
Okay. We'll go to other people now. Anybody would like to ask more question, you're welcome to raise your hand. And okay, Diana or no? Kwan Lee first. Okay, Kwan Lee. Sorry.
Tan Ajahn, I'm not sure if I heard correctly. Tan Ajahn was explaining to Venerable Aryananda, those who have fourth jhana. Can Tan Ajahn hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Those who have fourth jhana will automatically, when they pass away, they will be born in the Brahma realm.
Yes, even the first, second, third, or fourth, they all are considered to be different level of Brahma realms.
Then it will take a long time before they can continue with the path.
Well, however long, it depends on the strength of the jhana, how long they last. If they're more efficient, then they will remain longer in the Brahma world, which is okay. It's a happy world. It's a happy place to be.
Oh, can they opt not to go to the Brahma realm, but rebirth in the human realm to continue with the path?
Yes, you can, but the path requires that you have to have jhana anyway, so you cannot.
Yeah, I mean those who have jhana, can they opt not to go to the Brahma realm? But
why not? Because this is part of the path. Without jhana, you cannot develop wisdom.
No, I mean to be reborn in the Brahma realm.
So what? So what? What's wrong with being reborn in the Brahma realm?
Because it will take a long time before they can
No,
come back.
if you practice the path, you can continue practicing. As after you become an anagami, you'll be reborn in the Brahma world and continue with your practice.
Oh, not those Sotapanna or
Sotapanna will, since they still have sensual pleasure, desire, they will be reborn as deva or be born as human.
Ajahn, how about those only have jhana and have not entered the stream? Do they also reborn in the Brahma realm?
Yes, like the two teachers of the Buddha. Once they die, they'll be reborn in the Brahma realm until it expires, and then they will reborn as human again.
Then they will have jhana again when they reborn as human. Then after they die, they will go to the Brahma realm again.
And until they meet the Buddha or his noble disciple who will teach them with the wisdom.
Oh, that it will take a long time.
I don't know. We've been going around this rebirth for many long time already. So makes no difference really to be in the Brahma realm. It's the happiest realm of the realms of existence. So I don't think you should worry about being. You should worry about being in the animal realm, but better.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, Diana, you just raised your hand earlier.
I was reading about the 6 perfections, the parameters: generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom, and how when we apply those and think about other people, it makes us stronger. And I was thinking I don't get depressed really as I'm old now. but the youngsters, they all get depressed. And how can we help them? I don't really know why they always get depressed.
Because they want too much. You have to teach them to want little. Because when they want something bad and they cannot get it, then they become sad or eventually become depressed if they keep not getting what they want. But if they don't want anything, then they won't be unhappy. They won't be depressed. They will be happy. When you don't want anything, you mean you have contentment, right?
It's so much easier when you're older, isn't it?
Yeah, because you learn your lessons. But when you're young, you don't see the other half of life, the disappointment part of life. You only see the bright side when you're younger. When you want something, you always seem to be able to get it. But when you grow older, you start to see that you also lose something. You lose things when you get things. You also lose things, and you might not get things when you want it either. So you learn to temperate your desire, your cravings, and learn to accept things as they come. So you don't get depressed.
They seem to get attached to their negative emotions as well. You know, they say like, oh, I'm anxious or I'm depressed, and I always say that's not who you are.
They're depressed because they want to get rid of their depression and then don't know the proper way of doing it. So they're creating more depression that way. Because they have to know the cause of the depression comes from their craving, from their desire. So if they want to decrease their depression, then they have to decrease their cravings, decrease their desire. One less, when they want less, then they will be less disappointed.
It seems harder for them in the modern world than it used to be.
That's right. It's unfortunate, but this is how we develop. We're going we're leading toward more depression, more suicide, more people committing suicide, because they thought at first that they could get everything they want, but then as time passes on, they eventually run into the wall. And when you become older and sicker, then you will not be able to get what you want like before when you were younger. And people don't want to live when they get old or get sick because they cannot do or get what they want. So we have to temperate our desire. The Buddha said, be moderate in your desire. Just only desire for only the essential things like food, shelter, clothing, and medicine. Other things, just take them. If they come, take them. If they don't come, don't worry about them. We can live without them. We don't need them. We don't need a new cell phone. We don't need to go on holiday. We don't need a husband or a wife.
No. My nephew, he's terrified about any illness. He can't, he just gets really upset at the thought.
Yeah.
But that's attachment.
That's because he's ignorant. He doesn't, he never studied the nature of the body. It's so plain inside, but he cannot see it. Everybody get old, get sick and die.
Yeah, I tell him that because you tell me that, so I tell him that.
But he won't listen, right?
He laughs, so that's good. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. We have a newcomer, a latecomer, Professor Ken. What happened? Teaching?
Now, Tanajan, we have the semester break. I was traveling back today from a few days in the mountains.
I see.
I was doing walking meditation on the snow.
Did you go skiing? Did you skiing with mindfulness?
Sorry?
Did you ski with mindfulness?
No, I wasn't skiing. I was just walking on
Walking,
yeah, with with mindfulness. Minus 10 degrees.
Well, when you ski, you have to be mindful, or else you can break your legs.
Yeah. I used to ski, but not anymore. It's too dangerous. My knees are not as strong enough.
Yeah, too old for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Any question tonight?
Yeah, Thanajan, one question. You often mention that before we can do wisdom contemplation, we need to have some degree of samadhi. My question is, if we have a small amount, maybe 10%, 20% of calm, does that mean we can still contemplate even if it's not as fully effective as a
contemplating is not the problem. You can contemplate, but applying it is the problem. If you don't have enough equanimity, you cannot apply the wisdom to stop your cravings. If you have 10% of calm, you probably can stop 10% of your craving.
Okay.
So you need 100% of equanimity to be able to stop your 100% of your craving.
Okay.
See, like equanimity is like giving food to the mind, giving strength to the mind to do the work of killing, getting rid of the defilement, with the help of wisdom guiding the reason why you should stop your defilement. See, wisdom only tell you that your defilement is causing you to get suffering or dukkha. So you should not go after your defilement. Go with your defilement. You should go against your defilement.
Yeah.
And in order for you to be able to go against your defilement, you have to have strong equanimity.
Okay.
Like stop smoking, for instance. Wisdom tells you smoking is not good for you, right? But if you don't have strong equanimity, you cannot stop smoking. The desire is stronger than your equanimity. But if your equanimity is stronger than your desire, then you can stop your desire.
Okay.
Contemplating is to teach you the reason why you should not go after your desire, go with your desire, do what your desire asks you to do. Because every desire will lead you to dukkha one way or the other, sooner or later. Because the object of your desire are temporary. When you lose what makes you happy, then you become sad instead. But if you don't go after that object, then that object cannot cause you any sadness. But sometimes you are so addicted to them, you cannot resist your desire to go after them. You can contemplate, but you cannot apply it effectively, that's all.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You can contemplate on aging, sickness, and death, but you cannot apply this thought to teach your mind to remain calm in the face of aging, sickness, and death. Because you don't have calm to do it with.
Yeah.
But if you have calm, then you will know how to deal with this aging, sickness, and death by just remaining calm and accept things as they are.
Okay.
If you don't have equanimity, your defilement will keep resisting the truth, or denying the truth, not accepting the truth. But with samadhi or calm, you stop this resistance, stop this defilement.
Okay.
So you can accept the truth calmly, peacefully, without any stress, without any dukkha. That's the goal of the practice, is to get rid of stress created by your defilement.
Okay.
So you need both. Wisdom will teach the mind the reason why you should not have any desire for things. And then in order to apply this wisdom, you need to have equanimity. Equanimity is like brake of your automobile. And wisdom tells you when to stop. When you come to a red light, wisdom says this is time to stop. So if you have brake, then you can apply the brakes and stop the automobile. But if you have no brakes, even though wisdom tells you to stop, you cannot stop.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. That's very clear, Thanajan. Thank you.
So it's very important to stop your mind with mindfulness first, to still your mind with mindfulness.
Okay.
And then learn wisdom, the reason why you should stop your desire, your defilement, your greed, your hate, your anger, your desire, because they are causing your mind stress.
Okay.
So practice a lot of mindfulness. We know a lot of wisdom already. We talk about wisdom all the time. But when the time comes to use wisdom, we cannot apply it effectively.
Yeah.
Don't go holiday, you're wasting your time. You should go to meditation retreat, but you cannot do that because you would rather go on holiday because your defilement wants to go on holiday rather than go on a meditation retreat. But if you have some meditation practices, you have some equanimity, then you see the benefit of meditation, then you can resist your defilement because you have some calm, some equanimity.
Yeah.
Then instead of going on a holiday, you go to meditation retreat instead. Okay, so practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is very important. It's the key to your equanimity. Once you have mindfulness, you can have equanimity. Then you can resist your defilement when your wisdom tells you to the reason why you should not follow your defilement. Okay.
Thank you, Thanajan.
All right. Anybody else would have any more questions? We have about 9 minutes left to the meeting. Okay, looks like nobody. Okay, then we shall call this meeting to an end for today. Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting can help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay mindful and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, we'll meet you again. I'll meet you again next week at the same time. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ